It's Jen Healy with the AYRx Yoga Swings. I'm the founder of the programs AerialYogaPlay and AYRx Therapeutix. And in preparation for the training coming up this weekend, I wanted to just take a little bit of time and share with you a bit of the history and background of creating this product that you see behind me, as well as this program. And they are two different things. I lead with a program, and I want to talk to you about how AerialYogaPlay and AYRx Therapeutix came about, and then also why I decided to design and manufacture my own swings after using many other different kinds of equipment for over a decade. So let's just go way back. I'm going to go back to 2005, where I had been experiencing back pain at that time for 10 years straight. Over 10 years. And my back pain, my lower back pain, started when I was in grad school and getting 2 degrees and working 3 jobs and really overdoing it, as well as being really athletic and always pushing myself physically. And that went to my knees and my lower back. So within 1 year in 1995, I had ACL reconstruction on each knee, and then my lower back went out. And while I'm in grad school, trying to have surgery, trying to get these degrees in engineering and physics, I'm having all these physical limitations. And so it catapulted me into studying alternative therapies. I was at University of Arizona at the time, so I went into medical physics and was studying Andrew Wild's work on alternative medicine. And I really wasn't that satisfied with what I was seeing as options. Usually it was surgery, or medication, taking drugs in order to numb the pain in the body. And so I started to explore more Eastern philosophies and integrate those with the Western medicine approaches. So I was very interested in Chinese medicine, in studying Thai, Zen, Buddhism, Japanese, Chinese, all these ancient traditions, including yoga, including the traditional yogic philosophies. So then I kind of went on a journey after a couple years of exploring how I could integrate the sciences with the healing arts, and particularly my passion has been advancing the healing arts with technologies. And these technologies are specifically for interfacing with the energetic body. So Healing Technologies was one of the companies that I started when I left grad school and started working on my own. And at this time, around the early 2000s, it was still pretty unknown, the electromagnetics of the body. Chinese medicine and acupuncture were getting popular, but it was still kind of a big mystery for us Westerners how this is all working. So I've been really fascinated with meditation and yoga and the combination of these practices with the sciences. So I really love physics and sacred geometry and understanding the physics and geometry of the physical body, as well as the influence that we get from nature, from the universe around us. So I like to bring those universal principles into my practice. So after taking 5 different yoga teacher trainings and trying every style under the sun, in about 2005, I kept injuring myself. Yoga did help, but then it also, because I would really go to the nth degree and push myself in yoga. And as I kept advancing in yoga, I noticed that I would be overextending myself and injuring myself even more. So I started going to literal playgrounds, right? The playground at the park with all the little kids, and hanging upside down on the monkey bars and swings and equipment. And I noticed that using gravity and this tractioning of hanging upside down, I would immediately feel better. Not only would I feel better from decompressing my back and my spine, but it also elevated my mood and my attitude. So then I only wanted to do yoga outside on playgrounds. And after doing this for a couple years, and some people looking at me like I'm odd, I wanted to build my own playgrounds, adult playgrounds, and I was calling them quantum playgrounds because it was about inspiring infinite possibilities in movement and exploring all the ways that we could play as adults. Because of course my first experience in a swing was when I was 4 or 5 years old at a playground, and I associate playgrounds with having fun. And as adults, we really need to bring more fun and more joy into our lives. So I came up with the concept in around 2005 of building quantum playgrounds. And for many years, I collected equipment and I bought other people's designs and I brought them all together into a concept, a construct. And the quantum playgrounds is really about exploring infinite ways to play using sacred geometry and also learning the physics of the body. So that's really where this whole program really came from. So I was involved heavily in the Bay Area with the acro yoga community, and I love acro yoga, but you always need a partner, right? And sometimes that partner can drop you, and I would, or do something destabilizing, and I would wind up having more lower back pain. I would wind up injuring myself. So I had to be really, really careful because I was hyper flexible and yet had this pretty severe lower back injury that I was always nursing. And then if I did injure my back, it would take me like 6 months for it to heal again. And it was so frustrating because at a very young age, I was dealing with lower back pain for over 10 years, like I said. And besides that, I was extremely active, extremely healthy, but like especially first thing in the morning, I could barely get out of bed. I was in so much pain. And I noticed that hanging and tractioning and playing really helped. I would get instant relief and it would last. And it was accumulative. The more I did it, if I went every day and hung up upside down, it would stay. It would really take and become a permanent progress. So I was using other people's fabrics, other people's swings, trying out different pieces of equipment so I could do this at home. And I did collect a lot of equipment and had my own little healing sanctuary where I had the quantum playground, all these different pieces. And then I started taking that around to festivals and events and inviting other companies to collaborate with me. So for many years, I actually used other people's equipment. And then, of course, because I would be using it every day and quite often, I was always coming up with my own passion, my own ideal of what that design would look like and feel like. So it took many years, but right around 2012, I started making my own swings, my own yoga swings. And it's just necessity being the mother of invention, So these swings are super special. This is the new yellow gold ones. They're very stretchy. They're very soft. They're cotton lycra, not parachute, nylon, polyester, anything like that. So it's really high quality. And then the leg loops and handholds allowed for us to do a lot of different variations, moving in multidimensional space. So it really came out of my own pain and suffering and my own dissatisfaction with what I was experiencing and seeing, not only in the world of healing, in the world of yoga, in the world of these different aerial equipments, that I came up with AerialYogaPlay. And AerialYogaPlay was part of the quantum playground, and that's why the play is the most important part. We don't want to skip that or neglect that. Okay, and then after several years, it's about 6 years now that I've been offering the AerialYogaPlay teacher training program. Then I started to distinguish my program as a Therapeutix program because really this is a healing modality. And aerial performance and circus arts is just very different than what I do. And I just called it Aerial Yoga Play because we were in the air and we were playing and we take yoga poses and we translate them in kind of a fun and playful way into new variations. So it's a loose translation of yoga because there's a lot of things we do that you just can't do in yoga. But the thing that's really delicious about this practice is the support and the suspension. So I like to call this a Therapeutix program that is suspension training. And AYRx, AYRx, allows that distinction. And I taught my first AYRx program and put together that teacher training 2 years ago now. And I'm really happy that this is starting to take off, this idea that we can use the swings for a therapeutic practice at any age, at any level of experience. It can start to not only heal the body, but create instant relief and release this tension and this pressure that we have on the spine in particular. I like focusing on the neck and the lower back and the joints because that happens to be where I was having injuries, so that became my area of expertise. I've been fully dedicated to the healing arts and that being my career for the last 20 years. So I still have a strong foundational backbone with my advanced degrees in electrical engineering and physics, but I use that knowledge to teach physics through play, to understand the physics of the body engineering, and the sacred geometry that's in the body, and that's all infused into this swing design. So it is very special, it is very different. So this is my little synopsis of where did this program come from, AerialYogaPlay. Who am I? How did I get here? I will say by 2010, when all of this was kind of at its peak, the quantum playground and the AerialYogaPlay and all that, since then I've been completely pain-free. Every day I live in a happy, healthy body. And I really believe that we can regenerate, and so I really call the AYRx regenerative therapeutics, because I'm learning myself but also teaching others how we can regenerate the spine. We're taught that we degenerate with age, but with age I feel like I've gotten healthier and even better, stronger and more flexible, so it is possible. Okay, so I do hope you enjoyed this little sample of what AerialYogaPlay and AYRx Therapeutics is, and I hope to see you in the teacher training very soon. Thank you.